Hey, boo.
Check it out. Hey, ladies, get closer. Fellas, you know what to do. So everybody in the place to be. Now that we in harmony.
Today, I'm going to be doing a video about my unpopular opinions and my controversial topics. To preface this video, I would like to say I am not an agreeable person. It's not that I'm not an agreeable person for people who have good morals and opinions. It's that a lot of my opinions go against the grain and I don't care. That's the issue. I recorded this video yesterday and I did not like how it came out, so I just told myself I was gonna re-record it and put a little bit more effort into it. So yeah, these are my opinions. None of these opinions are going to be derogatory or anything like that. These are my opinions and you might not agree with them, but we can respectfully disagree. Let's get started. My first unpopular opinion is everything is more nuanced than it appears to be on surface level. And I hate when something is deemed as like one or the other type of situation. I love the word nuance. Nuance is my favorite word ever. Everything has more nuance than it appears to have. Although there may be one right and one wrong, at several different points in time, both sides could have been right and both sides could have been wrong. So I just like to look at things with a broader perspective because everything is more nuanced than it seems. I feel like that's an unpopular opinion because a lot of people view things in black and white instead of gray. My next unpopular opinion is that not thinking deeper, the lack of the ability to think deeper and to comprehend things and to break things down is the biggest issue in today's world, especially because the uprise of social media. Like, obviously we had social media when we were younger. However, it was like a mixture of social media and real life community. However, now that I'm into my older teenage years, it's kind of just social media. And with that being said, it kind of feels as if a lot of people are not able to think deeper into a lot of situations, aren't able to read a situation and be like, this situation is not real, this situation is fake, this is AI. They're unable to piece together a story. They like jump to conclusions about what a person is saying instead of comprehending what the person is saying. You know, like my next unpopular opinion, politics is not something that you are able to opt out of. I'm sorry, if you don't have a political opinion, you cannot be around me and I'm not going to be around you, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, politics affects you and it affects me. So if you have no opinion about it, you don't care what happens to me or you. I care what happens to me. I care what happens to you, but you don't. So I can't get down with that. It's different for you saying like, I feel like in this situation both sides are bad, but I'm leaning towards this person because this person has slightly better policies than this person. Like I'm doing my research, but no, you decide to stay ignorant on both sides of the spectrum. Don't give me that ish. I don't want to hear that. All these problems that we're facing in and out of our country, and you're telling me you don't have a political opinion? And I don't have that privilege, I'm sorry. My next unpopular opinion, I can determine what type of person you are from the music that you listen to. I know you don't believe that I can, but I believe that I can.
Only one person in this world who can tell you what you are.
Me.
No, me, Sue Sylvester.
People always love to say, well,
I listen to all different types of music.
all different types of music that you listen to, I can determine what type of person you are. Not what type of person you are, as in if you're a good or bad person or anything. I just know your aesthetic and like your vibe and things like that off of the music that you listen to. It's like, you can be that, but I know you. Here's my next unpopular opinion. I feel like cats are for more emotionally driven people and dogs are for more schedule driven people. People don't like the unpredictability of cats if you're a dog person, and I feel like I don't like the strict schedule that you have to follow when you have a dog. It's like you have to take them outside every day. You have to do these things every day. Obviously, you have a set schedule with the cat. Like you have to feed them every day. You have to change the litter box, things like that. But it's not like you really like have to do all of the things that you have to do with a dog. I feel like I'm more of an unpredictable person. I like to go day to day doing different things. I don't want to do the same thing every day. And I feel like that's why I'm really a cat person through and through. My next unpopular opinion, everybody wants to be influencers and YouTubers and entertainers and rappers and singers and all of these things, but they don't actually want to be those things. They feel that it's an easy way to get money or it's an easy way to get fame. And I feel like that's the issue. I don't feel like everything needs to be hard. I am not one of those people that you feel like you have to go through struggle to enjoy something. No, what I'm saying is I don't like the fact that you don't actually want to be a content creator. You don't actually want to be a YouTuber. You don't actually want a musician. You really just want to get the monetary compensation, the fame, the accolades, but you don't want the process that it takes to get there. You don't enjoy the process. And although it's like that may seem a little hypocritical because it's like I'm trying to become a YouTuber, I want to be a musician. It's the fact that I actually have wanted those things all throughout my life, and I'm willing to work towards attaining them, even if that means taking a small step. And that's what I feel like a lot, not everybody, but a lot of people are lacking. And I feel like there's a disconnect when a lot of people post things because it doesn't resonate with you. You're just posting this to post. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like that's why there's like this dry spell on YouTube and TikTok and all those things, because it honestly feels inauthentic. This one's gonna sound a little harsh, and I don't mean for it to, but people are dumber than we realize. People are more stupid than you realize. And I've had to realize that and take a step back from a conversation like, this is not a conversation I should be having with you. You don't have the mental capacity to withhold and withstand this conversation. And you may not even be dumb school-wise or education-wise. You may just be dumb emotion-wise. You may just be dumb in a social manner. You may just be dumb in other ways. I'm not just talking about educational dumb. I'm talking about dumb all across the board. Sorry. And I'm not joking either. Like, sometimes you really have to take a step back and you're like, the stairs don't go all the way up, so we just have to let this conversation go. I think that people who play like both sides of the fence, or people who are always neutral, are evil. I understand that like one of the first things I said was that everything has more nuance, and it kind of sounds like a contradictory statement. This is what I mean. Like I told you earlier when I said there's more nuance to a situation. A lot of the time, objectively, there is a right and a wrong situation. Those people who always are in the middle or always on the fence and have no actual opinion on anything, I cannot stand those people. Like, every single situation does not need you being riding the fence. Sometimes people need to hear that they're wrong. Sometimes people need to hear that they're right. You do not always have to play both sides of the fence. Sometimes I understand, but every single time, if you find yourself in the middle of a situation with no actual stance or opinion, you're evil. My next unpopular opinion is that excessive consumerism and excessive use of AI will automatically get you kicked out of my circle and it makes me think that you're stupid. And I mean education stupid this time. People in Memphis don't have water or clean air, and people all over the country are starting to like have those same issues, and you're telling me you're using AI to generate a video on Facebook that got 3 likes. I'm like, if you're using this to make you a study guide once a week, or you're using this to help you genuinely with things, like not be your therapist, you're asking you, like you're doing schoolwork, you want to just summarize a paragraph and make it a simpler because you can't understand, you keep rereading, things like that. Okay, I can understand that, but that's not what majority of the use is. It's dumb, and I can't stand for it. I'm sorry. And what I mean by the excessive consumerism, you do not need every single new Labubu that comes out. You do not need every single Stanley Cup that comes out. You do not need all of these things. I think that being excessively wasteful all the time, and that is like your brand, that's your thing, is so annoying to me. Live your life how you want to, but the earth is burning. It's hot as hell. I'm not rationing water for you hoes that are using generative AI. Delete those apps off your phone. It's slowly killing your brain. Stop buying every single thing that comes out. You have a spending addiction. It's not the fact that you actually enjoy these things. You're not going to use them. My next unpopular opinion, TikTok is going to become so much worse than Instagram. And I already see it happening. Like, this is already in motion. The comments of Instagram, if you're on Instagram, you know what I mean. Like, the comments of Instagram are always so miserable. Like, the pages on Instagram are always so evil. Everything on Instagram is unfiltered, basically. So it's just like the first terrible derogatory thought that pops up in their mind, they're going to comment it or they're going to post about it. TikTok, I fear that TikTok is becoming the exact same way. Every time I go to a TikTok comment section now, it's just filled with literal children, not even just children, like people who have no like actual social media page, like hiding from a fake page. It always is so negative. The jokes are starting to become not funny and just become derogatory, racist, misogynist. It's like it's becoming Instagram slowly but surely, and I feel like it's going to be worse because TikTok has a way bigger demographic of people than Instagram. I feel like a a bigger mixture of people on TikTok. There are different sides of TikTok, and I fear they're all becoming terrible. My next unpopular opinion is that holidays don't make sense to me personally. I really do not celebrate holidays. On top of me not being a religious person, which is going to be my next unpopular opinion, on top of me not being a religious person, a lot of holidays don't make sense, because if you look into like the meaning of a lot of these holidays that we're just celebrating just to celebrate, no, actually I don't stand for that, and I don't want to celebrate that. And then also, it's like the meanings of the holidays now, even if you do resonate with them, are so watered down and so insensitive, for lack of better words. A lot of the meanings do not stand today. The 4th of July, Independence Day. Not that I've ever really been a fan of Independence Day or 4th of July. Obviously, my people weren't independent, my people weren't free. Even in the context of today's political climate and the things going on in multiple places around the world, and in our country, it doesn't make sense to celebrate that. St. Patrick's Day. I don't personally celebrate holidays. I celebrate Halloween because it's my birthday, and that's pretty much it. My next unpopular opinion, and this one I'm gonna give a trigger warning because it does involve religion. If you are a super religious person, do not get mad at me. But I'm not being disrespectful. This is just my opinion once again. Religion is the reason that most politicians and political leaders get away with a lot of things that they get away with. It's another reason why we are in the political climate that we are in today. People don't understand the separation between church and state. It's almost as if like religious people claim that they don't want to force their religion on most people or the majority of people, but when it becomes a decision for a lot of people's greater good, like the betterment for people in general and not just the specific group of religious people, it often gets clouded because a lot of the time somehow your religious beliefs go against the greater good for the majority of people, which I find contradictory. This is not me slandering any specific religion. I have not said any specific religion. I think in general, you practicing your religion does not bother me. You being a religious person does not bother me. I don't mind you going to church. None of that affects me as a person. However, when you are letting your religion affect me as a person because you don't agree with my life in the physical realm, because you're so worried about your spiritual salvation, that is where things get confusing to me. And you have to understand and be able to call out the issues within your own religion and call out political leaders and politicians for using that said religion for their gain and their benefit. Ask yourself, are you upholding those standards in the sake of being religious? And that's all I ask. My next unpopular opinion, biphobia is dismissed and ignored. Me personally, I do not label myself, and I just find that to be like a whole different topic. However, I do notice that when it comes to like the conversation of bisexual people, everybody, even lesbians and gays and straight women, they all feel as if you're either straight at the time or you're either gay at the time. It's not that you're bisexual all the time, it's that you're attracted to one or the other. What I mean by this is that if I'm dating a girl right now, I'm gay. If I break up with that girl and date a man, then I'm straight. But if I break up with that man and date a girl, I'm gay. Bi means two, correct? Bisexual means I'm attracted to both genders. Like, I find that infuriating because it's like a lot of the time, especially when I'm hearing the conversations that lesbians have about bisexual women, it's like irritating to me because it's like it lacks nuanced and sensitive a lot of the time. You, out of all people, especially if you're a queer person, you should, out of all people, should not be questioning somebody's sexuality because it presents itself in a different form than yours. I don't quite understand the confusion and the outrage. It's like if your partner cheats on you, that's a completely different story. That is within your partner's character values. If I am a bisexual person and I'm a cheater, that is within my character values. Sexuality and your values and morality are two different things. My last unpopular opinion is that biracial is its own race and it needs to be identified as that. And I hate the topic of,
oh, I'm not black and I'm not white and I wasn't accepted by blacks and I'm not accepted by whites.
Biracials have been a thing since slavery. All of Black history, there have been biracial people throughout history. Many biracial civil rights leaders, like many biracial historians, there are biracial people throughout history. And I feel like it is extremely tone deaf to say that white people and Black people especially never accepted you and never like made space for you in their community when you have your own community. Like when I was in middle school, high school, all that, I had plenty of biracial friends. So it's like I get confused onto why it's always I have to be in a Black group or a white group, when why don't you just go hang out with the other biracials? There has never been a point in time where like you were the only biracial person ever. That's why I get irritated about that whole topic. Well, I was never accepted. I understand that it's like you really feel like you don't have a place in either diaspora or either community because you're a little bit of both, but you're not either. You're both. That's the main thing here.
Oh, well, they didn't let me check more than one box.
There are bigger issues at hand. Not to dismiss your feelings, but now we have the please check all that apply. I feel like it is extreme, and on both sides, like Black parties, white parties, I feel like it's extremely dismissive to act as if biracials have not been a thing throughout all of history. You guys have your own history, and not to get that confused with light-skinned Black people. Part 2 of this unpopular opinion, please start labeling light-skinned Black people as light-skinned Black people and stop labeling biracials and racially ambiguous people as light skin means that you are a light-skinned Black person. You have 2 Black parents, you just happen to be light. Biracial is that you are mixed. You are a mixed being. You have lighter skin because you are mixed. A light-skinned person is not mixed. They're fully Black, but they are light. All right. Biracial is its own race. Please do not fight me about that. Please just understand that you are not Black or white. Most biracial people do not claim that they are white because one of their parents are white. It's always that you're Black. And with that, I am ending off this video. I thank you for watching so much. My name is SaVannah. I didn't say that earlier. Please like, subscribe, and comment.
I'ma have to give you time with some good machine.
We're gonna do something really hot now. So, put your hands together. Together. Just listen.